Get a cup, get a cup, get a cup. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another video on Fresh Cut Slim. Today we'll be looking at awful TikToker arrested for lying about her cancer by Sunny V2. What is this, someone inspired by Boogie2988 or something? I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it.
She was diagnosed with cancer, raised $37,000, but was given a heavy sentence as the cancer never existed.
Ooh, wow. Now, is that... She was sentenced, so is it illegal to do that? I don't know. Is it illegal? Is it fraud because you're taking, like, she raised 37 grand? Is that considered fraud?
Born March 2003, her name is Madison Russo, and she was a University of Iowa student when she began feeling, quote, just a little bit off. She experienced sporadic fevers, some bloody stools and random nosebleeds, leading to a checkup with her university doctor. On the 10th of February 2022, at the age of only 19, Maddie was given a diagnosis she never could have predicted.
I got the call from my oncologist and they found a mass on my pancreas, and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old.
Out of 25 different cancers, pancreatic has the lowest chance of survival.
The 5-year
Wow.
outlook of survival is a slim 11%.
However, this initial announcement video was already somewhat suspicious. She kept on looking to the left like she was reading off a script, which would be a pretty strange approach to talking about a life experience. It's her looking at her script for me. Perhaps she wrote it out to keep her words concise, but also how she was diagnosed didn't sound right.
You don't just have an oncologist. It takes weeks, months. You have to find one that specializes in the kind of cancer you have.
These red flags were
Yeah, that is kind of suspicious. Now, let me guess. Is the reason why she lied about the cancer was to raise money, which the money was to use to help fund her education? Is that the reason behind it?
clearly overlooked, as Maddie was
Just do OnlyFans like every other college student.
featured by her local news, in which she'd stand by her original story. My phone rang and it said Iowa City Oncology. I stepped out of the classroom and took the call. They told me they had found a mass on my pancreas and that I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer. I was terrified and I definitely still am.
Like, if they are going to find a mass on your, pancreas, don't you have to do some kind of... Like, they just don't know that you have that. They have to... I don't know if a CT scan would find that, or if you actually have to go and get a biopsy, or they, like, there's stuff and procedures that have to be done. So it wouldn't be that hard to focus, you stupid. Hey, I'm over here. It wouldn't be that hard to prove that you had it because there would be a record of it.
I was in shock. I didn't think it could be true. I'm so young and I wondered how this could happen. I went through all the emotions and I was pretty numb. I remember hanging up the phone and I was a mess. I was literally bawling, but somehow I ended up getting the courage to wipe away my tears and went back into class, which now when I think about it was pretty crazy. You never want to get cancer, and if you do get diagnosed, you can't choose where you get it.
If she went back into class, other people would have been around to see that happen, right? So other people could testify to that. Yeah, that she did come in crying. But if she never actually did that, then no one would be there to kind of back that up.
Of all the ones, why does it have to be this one? Again, implying to everyone that she'd been given the worst cancer possible. To make matters worse, surgery was not an option as my tumor is on the tail of my pancreas, and it's very deep rooted. Doctors said that if they went in, the surgery would do more harm. There was more risk than reward, and as a result, she'd instead be doing 15 rounds of oral chemotherapy, along with 90 rounds of radiation. She'd document the journey as a way to help her cope, trying to act as an example that she could maintain looks and lifestyle. She'd write, round 14 of chemo ended last Friday, and by Sunday night, I decided to throw on my running shoes and see where they took me.
I've had a few people in my life affected by cancer. And after like this much chemo, you don't have the energy. You don't have the energy for this kind of stuff. That is a huge red flag.
Yeah. Well, they took me 6 miles. I'm thinking the bags of blood I received earlier in the week fueled this one and made me speedy, although to a person with leukemia named Anna Tower, this was again very strange. She wrote, when I saw Maddie's post about her going for a run, she looked pretty. She had all her hair and was strong enough to go running.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, with that much chemo, you don't have the energy for that kind of stuff, and yeah, your hair does fall out.
a run I was missing since my diagnosis. So there I was sitting on the couch, looking at that post and asking myself what was I doing wrong? Why was I bald, weak, and couldn't even think about walking, let alone running? Walking to the car to get to the hospital was a challenge. I was thinking I did something wrong, or maybe that I was not strong enough, passively implying Maddie's appearance was also highly suspicious. People began
Now, she could be wearing a wig. If it does fall out, you could be wearing a wig. But just the energy to go do all that, sure, some people may have that, but the majority of people get wiped out.
to ask, how do you have chemo and keep all that beautiful hair? To which she'd post the following video.
How I am keeping my hair during treatment with chemo and radiation. My mom found this. It's biotin with
What she should have done is just shave it all, then put on a wig and be like, "Well, I'm actually wearing a wig."
collagen
Because
and
biotin, it helps it, I believe, grow, but it doesn't it's not going to save your hair from completely going away with chemo.
keratin.
Maddie claimed that she'd kept her hair by using vitamin supplements, but with comments like, "I guess the biotin is stronger than the chemo," she'd adjust her claim, stating it did fall out sometimes.
I was brushing my hair and a few pieces were coming out of
A few? Look how great her hair looks. Unbelievable.
I was brushing my hair.
She'd post this photo to show she wasn't lying, but it was pretty
That's just cut. That's literally just cut. You can see that it's cut hair.
damn obvious these were simply from a haircut.
That's just left over from the hair cutters when she went to get her hair cut.
Additionally, Maddie was super tanned in every single photo, which again was weird as they don't let you tan or use self-tanners during chemo. Her response, get this, was that the radiation treatment was keeping her golden brown.
Literally, you could have just said, "I went outside." But instead, she said the radiation gave her a tan. Are you stupid? That's not how the radiation works. They put a target and they blast the area where it is. It's not they don't blast your whole body and be like, "Hey," that's just called radiation poisoning. You blast your whole body with it. That's so stupid. They have a machine and they aim it where, they put give you a tattoo and they give you a marker where the tattoo, where it's going to be, and they blast that specific area, not your whole body. That's so dumb.
Maybe this radiation was also recharging her energy, as Maddie gave talks at St. Ambrose University, the SAU Generosity Night, and for the National Pancreas Foundation. In the process, she'd appear on podcasts.
How would you define the term pancreatic cancer?
The first word that comes to mind is just ugly.
Before
I could be wrong, didn't David Bowie have pancreatic cancer? Or was that Steve Jobs? Or maybe they both did.
announcing she'd gotten a second type of cancer. It is with heartbreak and
She got an upgrade? What?
shock that I share the news that my cancer has spread to my blood and is acute lymphoblastic leukemia on top of my original diagnosis of pancreatic cancer.
She leveled up. I'm sorry for making that joke. I know it might be a little bit inappropriate. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So what are the odds of her living through that now? She got this and on top of that. Stupid people. How's she going to come around and say, "Oh, look, I'm cured now. I'm cured."
Should therefore update her GoFundMe, writing, "Maddie's cancer has been progressively getting worse and has spread all over her body, including throughout her blood and also on her spine. She's tried everything and given it her all. Chemo, radiation, and other methods have no longer helped. As a result, donations flooded in, totaling $37,800.
This is horrible. This is so horrible. I know when Boogie, when the whole thing came out with Boogie 2988 faking cancer, the doctor said he might have it or something like that, and then he took that without a proper diagnosis and then ran with it. But I don't even think he did any kind of fundraiser thing like this. Sure, maybe some people bought some merch from him or something to support him, but this is on a whole other level of horrible. This is someone who was never even told that they had it and is making it up. At least that's what I'm led to believe is what has happened, is that they're just making this up. And that's just awful.
Maddie's close family friend Peggy Oll, whose husband died of pancreatic cancer, also sent Maddie a whole package of support materials, including $500 in gift cards. To keep the money rolling in, Maddie befriended a fellow cancer patient named Charlie.
It's just like taking advantage of these people. This person passed too. This is just horrible. Oh my gosh.
Who passed away in October 22, leading Maddie to make the following post. This just absolutely breaks my heart. Charlie and I would text each other daily, talking about all the ups and downs of both our battles with cancer, and she was seriously just a sweet, genuine soul. We were the same age, lived within minutes of each other, and could relate to each other 100%.
You could relate to each other 100%? How could you? Oh my gosh. How could you relate to this, whatever this other person was going through at all? And you're saying you can relate to them 100%? This is unbelievably horrible. This is so evil. Oh my gosh.
Sadly, it seemed Maddie's cancer was also getting worse, as she'd post a compilation showing everything she'd been through. Included were photos of her in hospital, although it would be through these that Maddie was finally exposed.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure if they do give you chemo, it's in your arm, isn't it? I don't think it's like into your chest area, it's into your arm. I could be wrong about that.
TikToker Scrub Hacks, who worked inside a hospital, noticed Maddie's medical equipment was installed incorrectly.
What is going on with that chest port? I am not a chemo nurse, but this doesn't look like a port to me. The dressing is really screwed up with her feeding tube that's not primed. Let's go closer to her nose. Is that the end of the feeding tube?
One comment clarified, chemo nurse here and that ain't a port, again confirmed by a medical doctor.
You can see that the actual positioning of the port per se is not accurate. Also, the way that it's secured, the type of tape that's used, is not the same clinical tape that we would use in the hospital.
Compare Maddie's port to that of Anna Tower, and the difference
Oh, so maybe they do put it into the chest. So as I said, I'm not really 100% sure how that worked.
is almost comical.
And I don't know if you've ever seen a cancer port. They're not usually this sloppy.
But the equipment problems didn't end there.
There's nothing in that bag. This would be where the nutrition would be. And if she was actually being fed via feeding tube, this tube would be full of this white liquid. There's nothing in that. So she would just be pumping air into her stomach.
Other photos featured the same inaccuracies.
Here's another one. No substances in the tubing. And her port is still messy. Also, do you see that right there? That little purple spot? Yeah, that's supposed to be down in her stomach.
All of which were taken not inside a hospital, but instead her own apartment. Every other photo was simply
They don't do chemo in apartments. What?
found on Google.
This is a picture she posted. That is a European outlet. This picture is from Google.
Except for some other extremely shameful posts.
This picture alone should put her in jail. She took this picture, drained from chemo era. This was on her TikTok. Somebody reverse image searched it and found an actual person with cancer. She literally stole this photo.
That doesn't look like her at all, though.
He took photos of actual cancer patients and posted them to her TikTok as if they were her own.
That's so messed up and evil. Oh my gosh. So is this actually a crime doing this? Like, I don't know. Because like in the Boogie 298 situation, was that a crime what he did? Like he took what a doctor said without a proper diagnosis and ran with it. She is just making it up and getting money from it. So what's the difference? Is the fact that she's like ripping people off and leading them to believe that she has it in order to get money? Is that the crime? Is that fraud? I don't know what that would be considered.
Well, as a result, police received a report that Russo had taken money and donations.
Okay, so it is from that.
From more than 439 donors, leading to a warrant to search the Bettendorf apartment of Madison Marie Russo. There, police found a brown paper bag with medical supplies, an IV pole with a feeding pump filled with cotton balls, 2 boxes of transparent dressing and a wig, plus a brand new 2023 Kia Sportage purchased with her GoFundMe money.
Oh.
Police then searched Maddie's medical.
So it wasn't even to fund education or anything. It was just for like wasting on a vehicle.
Records taken from Genesis Trinity, which showed that although Russo was a patient, she was never treated for any cancers or tumors. Police therefore
Why was she a patient then?
froze her bank account, and Maddie was arrested. 6 months later, Maddie appeared in court, making the wild claim that she had a broken family, and faking cancer was her strategy to bring them back together.
Okay. Bad plan. Bad plan. Back to the drawing board. But even if this was your plan to bring your family back together, like, what was the fundraiser for? Okay? What was the fundraiser for? That has nothing to do with bringing your family back together. That's just about taking money from people, right? Like, that's a horrible plan and a horrible thing to do. But if that was your plan to bring your family back together, keep it in your family. You know, don't put that out online and try to take money from people. Like, obviously, that's just her, like, coping. To me, that just sounds like a way of coping or lying to try to get away with it. That's not a good thing either, to try to bring your family back together. Do that to try to bring your family, bring them back together over a lie. Like, this whole situation is so effed.
I didn't do this for money.
Shut up. Shut up.
Or greed.
I did it for a new Kia.
I did this for attention.
And a Kia.
Did this in an attempt to try and get my family back together.
And an attempt to try to get a nice new Kia, baby. Woo!
It didn't work, and it only got worse.
Maddie's lawyer then explained how being exposed ruined Maddie's life.
At the gym, she's had people approach her and verbally accost her. She has been at the store where she's been flipped off and cursed at and yelled at.
Although those who were deceived still demanded extra punishment.
I hope Maddie Russo is held responsible. I hope Maddie Russo has to spend a great deal of time in jail. I hope Maddie Russo has to pay restitution. She preyed on my emotions and my giving nature.
The judge determined that Maddie had shown remorse.
I doubt that you will ever commit a crime like.
I would agree with him that I don't think that she would commit the same crime again, but another kind? Who knows?
This again.
But she
still freaking took money from innocent people.
Charged her with first-degree theft. As a result, Maddie was given a 10-year suspended prison sentence.
What does that mean? Does that mean you're in the prison, or is that like you're kind of like house arrest?
100 hours of community service, a $1,370 fine.
What? She freaking took like 40 grand and you're only fining her 1,300?
She was ordered to repay $39,000.
Okay, so that's the whole amount plus like $300
to those who donated to her GoFundMe. However, her donors still weren't happy. As a pancreatic cancer patient who donated to her, GoFundMe refunded the money. This sentence is appalling. She lied to the...
Yeah, like she did I think she lied to the court. And then making friends with cancer patients and then trying to relate with them and then saying that you related 100%. It's so insane. It's so insane. She definitely got way too easy off. Like, I don't know what the 10-year prison sentence, whatever they said, like, I don't know if that means she actually has to go to jail. I don't know what that means. So maybe if she doesn't even have to go to jail at all for that. But I doubt she will do the same thing again. But I don't think she learned her lesson, really.
Court. This was for greed, not her family.
Yeah, I agree. It's greed. She did it for money.
To cause people to hesitate to help is the reason she should be in jail. Judge/prosecution, you failed. Maddie.
Anyway, what a crazy video. I don't even know what to say. Just evil. It's so evil. To fake, this is a whole other level from what Boogie did. Because as I said, what Boogie did was he was told that he may have a certain illness. And he took it and ran with it, and then it kind of blew out of proportion that way. But he was at least told that he may have some kind of issue. This person wasn't told that, made everyone think that she had this issue, plus another, she said, oh, I leveled up. She said, oh, I got 2 cancers now. She made people believe, she doubled down on that lie, and then took people's money. Like, this is a whole other level of evil. It's unbelievable. Don't do this. Don't do this. If you need money, there are other ways you can get it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys found it entertaining. It's definitely something. Yeah. I think I can't rate this. Just what she did was so evil. I'll see you guys next time.